Muggles, my name is Ashley Starmo and welcome to my channel. So I finally got my hands on The Night Circus and I read it after hearing about it from booktube for forever, and I have some thoughts. I'm just gonna read this. I wrote this out. It centers around a mysterious and whimsy traveling circus with a massive reputation for being otherworldly. We learn that behind the curtain, the reason the circus is so magical is that two young magicians are manipulating real magic to not only awe audiences, but to utilize the circus as an arena where they compete against one another to showcase their powers. While they are supposed to be fierce competitors, having been raised specifically to combat one another, they fall in love and discover an unforeseen truth about the reality of their competition. So was it worth the hype? Yes. I freaking loved this book. The language was stunning. I could taste some of the language. The author's descriptions are truly beautiful. I have some written down. The circus looks abandoned and empty, but when you think perhaps you can smell caramel wafting through the evening breeze, beneath the crisp scent of the autumn leaves, a subtle sweetness at the edges of the cold. There's something so beautiful and simplistic about that language, even though it is eloquent. The context of the magic being present in the everyday too was really fun. I'm used to Harry Potter where there's an us versus them, muggles versus wizards, and I find that really prevalent in a lot of fantasy books, that us versus them trope. But by using the circus as an avenue for them to be them true selves and allowing the average person to go and experience the magic was so fun for me. The mechanics of the magic was really interesting too. It had like dalliances in examining immortality and mind control, and there was like a really fun dress that changed colors, which I loved, and an umbrella that was charmed so that, which I could really use in Washington, it was charmed so that even, you know, when you're under the umbrella, you won't get wet at all and you're nice and toasty warm. The way this author wrote the cast, I'm gonna say cast because it felt very picturesque in terms of like the cinema, was so well thought out. There was honestly not a single character that I think could have been cut. I think there was like a beautifully orchestrated character web where everyone affected someone else, even if you didn't see how they were affected until the very end. And she clearly did an amazing job at planning her story beforehand. Lastly, I enjoyed the fact that this was an adult fantasy. I generally dislike fantasy books, but when I love them, I really love them. And it was really refreshing to follow two characters from their childhood into their adulthood, because it allows a set of moral complexities to kind of develop over time. So you're not just learning about one moral or one takeaway, you're collecting a bunch because it's a collection of their life experiences. Similarly to Harry Potter, you watch his character arc. I think there's something really special when you follow someone instead of a week, when you follow them, even though you can have huge magnificent change in a week, it's extra special when you watch them become the person they're going to be. So I thought that was really fun. It's a yes from me. Thank you, Brooklyn, so much for buying me this book. I loved it. Perfect winter read, and thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, where on my Instagram stories I do book reviews and then I dabble a little bit in Bookstagram, and I will see you all soon.